Many people believe financial struggle is only about income, but in reality, financial habits often play a much larger role than people realize. One of the most common habits that keeps people financially stuck is emotional spending. When people feel stressed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, they often turn to spending as a way to temporarily feel better. But emotional purchases can slowly drain financial progress. It is easy to dismiss emotional spending as rare or minor, but for many people it happens more often than they acknowledge. A difficult day at work leads to an unplanned purchase. A moment of boredom leads to browsing online stores. Stress leads to dining out instead of cooking at home. Each individual purchase may feel small, but over weeks and months, the pattern adds up significantly. The real cost is not just financial. Emotional spending also delays the habit of sitting with discomfort and finding healthier outlets. When spending becomes the default response to negative emotions, it becomes harder to build true emotional resilience and true financial stability at the same time. Another common habit is ignoring credit. Credit scores affect many aspects of financial life, including borrowing opportunities, interest rates, and long-term financial options. Avoiding credit education can limit financial flexibility later. Many people avoid thinking about credit because it feels complicated or because past mistakes make it an uncomfortable topic. But ignoring credit does not make it go away. It simply allows problems to grow silently in the background. A low credit score can affect more than just loan approvals. It can influence rental applications, insurance premiums, and in some cases, even employment opportunities. Understanding how credit works, what factors influence a score, and how to responsibly build or rebuild credit are foundational skills that pay dividends across many areas of life. Credit is not a trap for people who understand it. It becomes a tool. Lifestyle inflation is another habit that quietly keeps people stuck. When income increases, spending often increases just as quickly. Instead of allowing additional income to build savings or investments, it disappears into lifestyle upgrades. This pattern is particularly dangerous because it feels like progress. A raise feels like success. A promotion feels like a reason to celebrate with a nicer apartment, a newer car, or more frequent vacations. And to some degree, enjoying the results of hard work is reasonable and healthy. The problem is when every income increase is immediately absorbed by expenses, leaving the gap between income and savings exactly where it was before. Wealth is not built by earning more. Wealth is built by consistently keeping a meaningful portion of what is earned. Lifestyle inflation silently closes that gap before it ever has the chance to compound into something significant. Another habit that can slow financial growth is avoiding financial education. Money is a system, like any system. Understanding how it works allows you to make better decisions. Learning about budgeting, investing, and long-term planning can dramatically change financial outcomes. There is a widespread belief that money management is complicated and reserved for experts. This belief keeps many people from ever starting to learn, but basic financial literacy does not require an advanced degree or a background in economics. Understanding the difference between an asset and a liability, knowing how compound interest works in both savings and debt, and learning how to create a simple monthly budget are all accessible skills. The barrier is rarely complexity. It is usually the assumption that it is too complex to begin. People who build wealth over time are not necessarily smarter. They are simply more willing to engage with financial concepts rather than avoid them. Even reading one book, listening to one podcast, or following one credible financial resource consistently can shift a person's understanding and decision-making over time. Finally, relying on a single income stream can create vulnerability. When all financial security depends on one paycheck, unexpected events can create serious challenges. This vulnerability became clear to millions of people during periods of economic disruption. Job loss, industry changes, health setbacks, or company closures can remove a single income source almost overnight. People who had built additional income streams, even small ones, found themselves in a far more stable position than those who had not. A secondary income stream does not have to be a second full-time job. It can be freelance work in a skill someone already has. It can be a small online business. It can be dividend income from investments that were built gradually over years. The key is that no single point of failure controls the entire financial situation. Diversifying income is not just a strategy for the wealthy. It is a risk management decision available to almost anyone willing to start small and remain consistent. There is also a habit that does not get discussed as often but deserves attention: the habit of comparing financial lives to others. Social comparison has always existed, but modern media has amplified it significantly. Seeing curated highlights of other people's purchases, vacations, homes, and lifestyles creates a distorted sense of what is normal or expected. People make financial decisions based on what they perceive others to be doing, often without knowing that those same people are carrying significant debt or financial stress behind the scenes. The comparison trap is costly because it replaces internal financial goals with externally driven ones. Instead of asking what is meaningful and what aligns with personal values, spending decisions get driven by what looks impressive or what keeps pace with social expectations. Breaking this habit requires intentional clarity about personal financial goals that are defined by values, not visibility. Procrastination is another quiet financial habit that costs more than most people realize. Delaying the start of a savings habit, postponing investing, or putting off paying down debt all carry real financial consequences. The most powerful factor in long-term wealth building is time. Compound interest rewards those who start early, even if they start small. A person who begins investing a modest amount at 25 will typically accumulate far more than someone who waits until 35 and invests twice as much per month. The delay of 10 years cannot easily be made up for, no matter how much is invested afterward. Procrastination often comes from perfectionism. People wait until they have more money, more knowledge, or more stability before starting. But waiting for perfect conditions means waiting indefinitely. Starting imperfectly today is almost always better than waiting for the ideal moment that never arrives. A related habit is avoiding the discomfort of looking at financial numbers directly. Many people have a rough sense that their finances are not where they want them to be, but they avoid sitting down with the actual numbers. Avoiding the numbers does not change them. It simply removes the information needed to make different decisions. Looking honestly at income, expenses, debts, and savings, even when the picture is uncomfortable, is the first step toward changing it. What can be measured can be managed. People who consistently review their financial situation, even briefly, make more deliberate decisions than those who avoid the exercise entirely. Breaking these habits does not happen instantly, but becoming aware of them allows people to begin making different choices. Awareness is where all meaningful change begins. It removes the automatic nature of a habit and introduces a moment of decision. In that moment, a different choice becomes possible, and over time, different choices lead to different financial results. Financial progress is rarely the result of one dramatic decision. It is the result of small, consistent choices made repeatedly over months and years. The habits that hold people back can be replaced with habits that move them forward. Not perfectly, not all at once, but steadily and with growing momentum over time.